So in this last chapter of Joshua, there's a verse that I want to go back to and meditate on and share about. Okay, here it is. But I delivered them. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Then Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, arose to make war against Israel, and sent and called, I think it's in the book of Numbers, isn't it, called Balaam, the son of Beor, to curse you. But I will not listen to Balaam. Makes you think. I just had this thought, like, is there a Balaam? Can you imagine if there's a Balaam in your life? It's hard to consider that. I've never thought of that, but it's Balaam, literally, Balaam the son of Beor, to curse you, okay? So Moab arose to Israel, called Balaam the son of Beor to curse you, but I would not listen to Balaam. So I delivered you out of his hand. Then you went over the Jordan and came to Jericho. And the men of Jericho fought against you. Also the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Jebusites. But I delivered them into your hand. I sent the hornet before you, which drove them out from before you. Also 2 kings of the Amorites, but not with your sword or with your bow. I have given you a land for which you did not labor, and cities which you did not build, and you dwell in them. You eat of the vineyards and olive groves which you did not plant. Now therefore fear the Lord, serve him in sincerity and truth, and put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the river and in Egypt serve the Lord. And if it seems evil to you to serve the Lord, choose for yourself this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. So the people answered and said, far be it from us that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods, for the Lord our God is he who brought us brought us and our fathers up out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who did those great signs in our sight and preserved us in all the way that we went and all the way preserved us in all the way that we went and among all the people through whom we passed. And the Lord drove out from before us all the people, including the Amorites who dwelt in the land. We also will serve the Lord, for he is our God. But Joshua said to the people, you cannot serve the Lord, for he is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not forgive your transgressions nor your sins. If you forsake the Lord and serve foreign gods, he will then turn and do you harm and consume you after he has done you good. And the people said to Joshua, no, but we will serve the Lord. So Joshua said to the people, you are witnesses against yourselves that you have chosen the Lord for yourselves to serve him. And they said, we are witnesses. Now therefore he said, put away the foreign gods which are among you, and incline your heart to the Lord your God of Israel. And the people said to Joshua, the Lord our God we will serve, and his voice we will obey. So Joshua made a covenant with the people that day, and made for them a statute and an ordinance in Shechem. Then Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of God, and he took a large stone and set it up there under the oak that was by the sanctuary of the Lord. And Joshua said to all the people, behold, the stone shall be a witness to us, for it has heard all the words of the Lord which he spoke to us. It shall therefore be witness to you, lest you deny your God. So Joshua let the people depart, each to his own inheritance. Now it came to pass after these things that Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of the servant of the Lord, died, being 110 years old, and they buried him within the border of his inheritance at Timnath Serah, which is in the mountains of Ephraim, the north side of Mount Gaash. Israel served the Lord all the days of Joshua and all the days of elders who outlived Joshua, who had known all the works of the Lord which he had done for Israel. The bones of Joseph, which the children of Israel had brought up out of Egypt, they buried at Shechem, in the plot of the ground which Jacob had brought from the sons of Hamor and father of Shechem for 100 pieces of silver, and which had become an inheritance of the children of Joseph. And Eleazar the son of Aaron died. They buried him in a hill belonging to Phinehas, his son, which was given to him in the mountains of Ephraim. What stood out to me in this, and I reread this is like the third time, is, I guess my question is, can you think of a time that you, in your life, well, first of all, bondage, when you were in bondage, can you think of a time of bondage that you were, whether by, unknowingly or knowingly, you made up, if you didn't realize it, you didn't understand, and you were living a life apart from God and serving whether your own way by default, whatever it was, whether you unknowingly engaged or knowingly you were away from and apart from God, the one true living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you were serving other gods on the other side of the river. So his goodness. So here's the question is, can you think of a time when he delivered you from that bondage that you were in as a result of those being on the other side of the river? And can you think of a time that he gave you gifts that you just definitely didn't deserve? And here it says, but I delivered them into your hand. I sent hornet before you, which drove them out from before you, also the 2 kings of Amorites, but not with your sword or with your bow. So nothing that you didn't do anything with your fighting. It wasn't any fight that you put up. I have given you a land of which you did not labor, cities which you did not build. So there is something very specific in my life that I did not do anything. I did not deserve it. I did not do anything to get it. And it's very specific. And it was delivered into my hand. And it was literally, stuff happened that literally were like the hornets. That were sent. And it was delivered into my hands without me putting up any type of fight. Can you think of a specific time in your life that that it was not by your fight that you put up, because people fight all day long in their own strength, taking each other to court, doing this, doing that. As Christians, we're not supposed to take each other to court, by the way. I'm just saying that people are, I'm talking in general, the overall way of being, people doing things, if they've been wronged, they're fighting for what they think is right and what is maybe owed to them, or whether it is owed to them or not, whether it is something that was legitimately, they were wronged, or whether they weren't wronged, or there's just these misunderstandings, or whether, let's talk about property land, whether you didn't get your proper share of an inheritance, or whatever the case may be. Well, let's just say this. I did not labor, and I ended up with a city on a hill, meaning God gave me abundance. I did not deserve it, and it was delivered to me. I didn't work for it. I didn't earn it. In fact, the spoils were worked. So it was really, truly, if this could have went to somebody else or some other people, and it wouldn't, I would have understood and not thought, well, I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve to have that anyway. So I didn't really have any expectation. I didn't deserve it. So, and I'm talking about a specific gift, a very special gift, and that was given to me. And with that, there's definitely, that has come my part. That's interesting because my part, which is to follow, and my heart is all in, and I made a commitment to follow God and turn away from any other God, fake, lying, small God of this world, any of the fake gods of this world that are made by hands or by imagination or whatever the case may be, or by the enemy of our souls. And I turned, and and then there's a stone that it was written on like a covenant, and to be a witness to them, to remind them of what they were delivered out of and what they were given, the grace of God, that you get what you don't deserve. You are given much grace. You're given much that you don't deserve. And I guess right now I'm thinking about how loved I am by the creator of heavens and earth. Can you think of a time that is just a reminder of how loved you are by him? Because he did not have to do the things that he did. And I can think of very specific obstacles and things that were done that were not only for me, the gift was given to me, but it was for their best interest too. Like humbling the other people, and whether or not they had a Balaam heart towards me, I don't know that they necessarily prayed against me or whatever. Maybe they did, who knows? But there could have been Balak heart, like a heart attitude like that towards me might be pretty evident. And it's interesting how much healing that I have, because a few years ago I could have never talked like this. I could have never thought of this situation or people with, and been able to talk about it without having some kind of reaction. But he's healed that in me. He has deeply healed those wounds, that broken, contrite heart, those soul wounds, and in the midst of it, I see where he is. I've given him my whole heart, and he is my God, and he is jealous for me, and I for him, because what I mean by that is I like, sometimes I don't even want to, I want to share my walk with people. Like, I have people I want to share with, and I can't wait to tell them about what he's doing for their sake. But I don't want people in my relationship with God, meaning, I don't know, more and more, it's my private walk with him, the things that go on between me and my Father, and that are mine and his, that are in secret, that are so special, that it's between me and him, and whatever, they're very sacred things that go on between, that are so intimate, that go on between the creator of heavens and earth, the Father, the King of kings and the Lord of lords, and me. And each person should have that. You should have that too. You should have that kind of intimacy with your creator. That's what he wants. That's what he means by jealous. He's jealous for your heart. And I love sharing him. I want everybody to have their walk, and to, but I've just learned more and more that to be cautious, to, like, it's too special, the things that go on with him. And I know getting better, I guess you could say, at what to share and what not necessarily to share. And I've always been an oversharer, so it's hard because you want to share, but there's just some things you just don't want it to lose its, somebody told me, you don't want it to lose its preciousness. The more you share something, it kind of takes away the luster, it waters down, like, the emotion that you're experiencing from the intimate moment, or the special moment that's between you and that person and Jesus through your creator. And anyway, so I am meditating on, but to share his word and to share the love of Jesus, that's different. That's different. I'm talking about the very intimate things that are just between me and him. And that's what's so amazing. As you grow in your walk, there are intimate, very private, personal things that just between you and your creator. And just like you have a relationship in your life, you don't tell every detail of, everything that goes on with you, with whether it's your spouse or somebody that's so special to you. Have you ever had, I guess, you share something and it was so special, and you shared that thing. This is an example, and you want to share because it's so exciting and it's so beautiful that you want to share, and you share it and it gets tarnished because somebody maybe takes it the wrong way, misunderstands it, or mischaracterizes it, or just makes it into their own idea of what they think it is, or or has an opinion about it that has nothing to do with what it actually is. It just, I can keep going on, but that's kind of the gist. And so I guess this brief thing was to ask the question is, what is a time in your life that you can meditate on, that God had such grace on you and gave you something that you know was from him, that can only possibly come from him, and there was nothing you did to get it, absolutely nothing you did other than being obedient to him, other than giving him your heart, other than putting your trust in him. But there was nothing else that you did to, other than that you're walking with him and he's your father, and he gives you this thing that's just amazing, and you just can't believe he's giving you, and not only that, he's entrusting you also. So now not only he's entrusting you with the inheritance, so you've inherited this gift that he's given you without working for it or deserving it, and now he's trusting you with this inheritance. And I guess my reminder, and then do you have a reminder of what that moment is? And it came up when I'm reading his word. His word is my reminder. I mean, I don't have a stone or some people have a wall of remembrance. Like, have you seen that movie War Room? I don't have walls of remembrance or something I've been wanting to do. I have different pictures, and I've made a lot of videos, and I have many journals, but I would love to do like a memorial stone, or, something that reminds me of, that you can look at, and it brings back that moment, and how much joy will well up in you, and just gratitude, deep gratitude. Although when I read his word and he brings it up, or it comes up into my mind when I'm reading this, it's such an amazing, because it's a gift all over again. I'm just reminded, and I'm just so grateful, and then I get to share, and it parallels his word. So it's amazing to me that our little lives this is like a nation. This is like, and our lives are like little nations, little cities, little, under our roofs, and our families and our friends. And I just love that he can bring it, take it from the littlest thing to the biggest thing on a global scale, make it, from, little town, from your little home to towns, to cities, to capitals, to counties, to countries, to, the nationwide, to international, national, just global. Just, it's so cool. He's so awesome. Just how he reveals to your heart and speaks to you that you can understand, and fills you. I guess we each have our own different unique personalities, so this is how he speaks to me. So I love hearing how he speaks to my other brothers and sisters in Christ, my other brothers and sisters in him. I love to hear how, of course, we have our intimate things that we don't share again, but are very private, intimate things I'm talking about, like as he teaches us and gives us the gift of teaching his word and sharing what we're understanding in his word. And so good stuff.